Hello and welcome to Simply Sport with me Neeraj Prabhu. The latest development on the scenario of Indian football is that Churchill Brothers Sports Club have been allowed entry into the I-League. The All India Football Federation obeyed the directives of the Delhi High Court and granted the top flight status to the Warka-based club. Churchill Brothers, we all know, have won the National League title on 2 occasions. They were the runners-up on as many as 5 occasions and have also won the IFA Shield, Durand Cup and Federation Cup. That makes it a very illustrious past for Churchill Brothers. They were stripped of their I-League status back in 2014 when the AIFF looked very strict about the club licensing criteria, and unfortunately Churchill Brothers could not satisfy that. That was then when AIFF looked like they were keen on having it a very professional scenario for all the clubs, and they were very strict. But now the times are different, and what may have also prompted the entry of Churchill Brothers is that teams are pulling out of I-League. Teams like Sporting Club, the Goa and Sargaonkar Football Club had pulled out earlier this year, but the latest shock came a few days back when Dempo Sports Club, the 5-time National League champions, also decided to withdraw. All these clubs are protesting the controversial restructuring of Indian top flight club football, and the AIFF looks like they are hell-bent on going forward with the roadmap that they have charted and not taking into account the opinions or the plans of the local clubs, the Goan clubs. In the meantime, Churchill fought for their own status and won the case in the Delhi High Court, and now they are back in the I-League. That gives us a little bit of silver lining to the dark cloud, because if there were no I-League Goan teams in the I-League, we wouldn't have had I-League matches here in Goa. So a bright spot in this dark scenario is the entry of Churchill Brothers into the top flight football. We have even more talking points today as the ISL heads into the semi-final state, with the top 4 teams having qualified for the semi-finals. Very, very strong teams in ATK, Mumbai City FC, Delhi Dynamos and Kerala Blasters. So we will also discuss that, and of course FC Goa's season, how it ended and what are the positives, what are the talented players that have emerged from FC Goa's season. We will all discuss these points, and we have with us former India striker Francis D'Souza in our studio as our expert as always. Francis, what do you make of the re-entry of Churchill Brothers in top flight club football in India?
That's very good news for Goan fans and the fans that love football so much. Football is close to everyone's heart, and I think Churchill's news must be a sigh of relief, because, like as you said, there would not be any participation from Goa for this I-League if it wasn't for Churchill Brothers. And thanks to the High Court, which directed the AFF to consider Churchill's participation after the history. It is sad that the things had to turn out this way,
right?
Because the court has appreciated the performance and the history of the club, but the federation concerned couldn't do that, and I appreciate the court's verdict on this part and subsequent acknowledgement from AFF. But since AFF also is in a certain way bound by certain rules and regulation about structuring of the clubs, so they were handicapped in a way. But then there is always room for discussions, talking out, and making some concessions, because fulfilling the criteria, AFC criteria, is a big problem for Goan club because of the financial responsibilities. But you can't take away the passion and the love for football from these clubs who have for decades sustained football without getting any remuneration from the federation. They have been able to continue, and especially Churchill Brothers. It's a very good gesture from their part when MRF tried to close shop in Goa. They shouldered the responsibility of taking up the club, and then they are where they are now, winners of I-League and Prudent, and appreciated by the High Court for their performance.
In the recent times, we've seen three top Goan teams also pull out from the I-League, and that left us a bit disillusioned as to what will happen, where will our Goan talented players play in the I-League. So now it's a big relief for all the players who aspire to play in the I-League.
Yes, definitely. There is some relief for some players, not everybody.
Right.
But because the choice for players is definitely going to be limited. And I think Churchill Brothers would also like to have some of the best players, irrespective of Goan boys, in mind, so that they can prove themselves that they are a team to reckon with, and not receive the shabby treatment from All India Football Federation as they have done. And they will also opt for some good foreign players to see that their performance speaks for themselves.
Right. As of now, the Goa Football Association Pro League is on, and all these four teams are playing in that tournament. The I-League begins anytime in the next month. So how does Churchill Brothers go about their task now to build the team for that tournament, which is much bigger in competition, much tougher in competition? What sort of players does Churchill need to sign now, and from where?
I think the other teams in the I-League who are there are way ahead in terms of preparation. They have their strategies and they have their planning already in place. But for Churchill, I think he will have a big task. But definitely, since the three clubs have already withdrawn, he has the option of taking some players. But it all depends on the commitment of these players with the previous club. And the goodwill that they might want to shower on Churchill Brothers by releasing some of their best players. In that way, Churchill Brothers is going to benefit. And also, the window for transfer, there's not much of chance for Churchill Brothers to get some good players who are on the shopping list. So Churchill will have a little problem in building up a very good team. But I'm sure these boys who are with these three clubs, they are all talented Goan footballers, and they will rise to the occasion.
Also, he needs a coach now with I-League experience.
Yeah,
ideally.
I think we have some coaches in Goa who have been I-League coaches earlier. And I think Churchill might even opt for somebody from abroad, because the paucity of time is very short, and not much time to prepare. So he may opt for one experienced and renowned coach.
Another aspect from this development is that three teams have pulled out from I-League, citing AIFF's lack of cooperation when it comes to restructuring of the league, the Indian football going forward. But now Churchill is back, and he is saying he is not bothered about which teams have pulled out, because they didn't support him when the AIFF stripped Churchill Brothers of their league status. So Churchill right in what he is saying now? He should not be bothered about this scenario?
That's the sad state of affairs that is now to the forefront. But I think there was a little mandatory requirements by AFC which AFF tried to implement, and the three clubs who have now withdrawn were because of the roadmap ahead of All India Football Federation of merging I-League with ISL, and they don't see it as good for the future of Indian football. And also their commitments towards the new proposal, which will incur huge expenditure, and also be a problem for them as far as financing is concerned. And if it's a longer league, there'll be more players from abroad coming. So nothing is really clear in how both the leagues will be combined, and what are the terms and conditions, and how.
Of course, this I-League is going to be the second division and called League One. That's what we hear. But all these three clubs are not comfortable with that idea of demoting the I-League. But what happens to Churchill Brothers? They have always opposed the ISL. Churchill was the first person to oppose the idea of ISL. Now he is ready to play in the I-League. But I-League is, of course, in the future going to be demoted. So how will this thing span out?
No, but Churchill Brothers now will always want to prove a point, that he fought in the court to prove a point that they were the best club in the country. They have contributed a lot to the Goan and Indian football.
Right.
So he has a point to prove, and irrespective of the developments that has happened, I think his target will be to prove to everybody, including the AFF and to the court, that they really deserved a place in the I-League. So that must be his priority now.
Yes, it's very uncertain as to how the things will pan out in the future. But right now, Churchill Alemao, the patron of the club, has reacted in terms of his club now going forward, and he has to create a team as a competent team for the I-League in 20 days or so. So he has been getting phone calls from players and coaches, and that's what he has told Prudent. Another interesting aspect is, will he get the players from these Goan clubs that he wants to get if the Pro League is on? I think the Pro League is on till the end of December. So if Churchill have to prepare for the I-League, wouldn't he need these players earlier to gel with his squad? So this also will be a tricky situation for him.
Yes, definitely. I mean, he is running, he is faced with all odds against him in a short span of time where he can prepare the team. Players are committed to other clubs in the Goa Professional League. I am not aware of the other commitments of the players towards their clubs when they sign between the dotted lines. So that also be a consideration for the players to join Churchill if they have been offered a place in the team. But Churchill Brothers also, like you said, the earlier point about supporting these clubs. I think Churchill Brothers are finding themselves in a very peculiar situation. They would like to support the clubs. Absolutely. With the Goan clubs, but since the verdict has come from the court,
right?
So he is there between the devil and the deep blue sea. So I think he has to go along with the verdict of the court and get an entry into the I-League.
That's a big talking point today of Churchill Brothers' re-entry in the I-League. Moving forward, we also now look ahead to the ISL business end of the third edition of the Indian Super League. The 4 teams that have made it to the semi-finals, they have played really good football, have been consistent in this season. ATK, Mumbai City FC, Kerala Blasters and Delhi Dynamos, they looked real solid throughout the season, isn't it?
Yes, I think the 4 teams rightly deserve to be there in the last 4. And they have peaked at the right time, especially Kerala Blasters and Delhi Dynamos. Their performance has been good, consistent. The players have been performing, except for ATK, who has not performed as expected.
Right.
But then they have still got themselves into the last 4, and they can always raise their level of performance in the double leg semi-finals to get themselves into the finals.
Who do you think is the stronger of these 4, at least on paper? Which team has impressed you the most?
In fact, I can't really say, because in this format and in this tournament, the players have been totally exhausted with a very tight schedule. So the performance on the day, the team that performs on the day, the players come up to a level, will decide who is victorious on the particular day. But I think it's a very balanced semi-final lineup.
Yes.
And we'll see some good football.
The toppers of the ISL 3, Mumbai City FC with 23 points, they face Atletico de Kolkata. That's a fascinating clash. and Delhi Dynamos, of course, take on Kerala Blasters. But which one is the pick of the contest for you?
For me, I think Delhi Dynamos and Kerala Blasters will be a cracker of a match, especially if it is played in the home ground of Kerala Blasters. The sea of yellow, as you have seen it in
Absolutely.
On the TV, they are behind their team,
Yes.
and very rightly they have picked very nicely at the right time, and they have got their players have got the confidence. So I think we should see a cracker of a game.
And this clash is more about defense versus attack. Kerala Blasters too strong in defense, while Delhi are a team with good flair.
Yeah, you have Hughes who is back from Ireland
For
for
Kerala.
Kerala Blasters.
Sandesh Jhingan as well.
You have Sandesh Jhingan also there.
Engelbert.
Engelbert also is performing very well. And in Mumbai FC you have Diego Forlan, you have Chetri, you have Node. So it will be a battle between
Delhi Dynamos.
Delhi Dynamos
are facing Kerala. Delhi also with
Delhi
good attack.
also we have a
Keane
very good
Lewis,
attack.
Marcelino.
Marcelino will be a player to watch in the
Absolutely.
semi-finals.
The managers as well, Kerala Blasters being spearheaded by Steve Coppell, and Delhi Dynamos, Gianluca Zamrotta, Englishman versus Italian coach. So how do you think tactically the clash will pan out?
The Italian coach, I think Italians are always good in a very defensive approach while going forward. So they will be more relying, Delhi Dynamos, on their counter-attacks with Maluda being the fulcrum of the team.
Figure.
Yeah, the central figure who will, take the counter on. And I think Marcelino is really good to do the finishing. So Kerala Blasters will have to watch out.
Atletico de Kolkata, the champions of the first edition, take on Mumbai City FC, who had never lit up the ISL in the history. This is the first time Mumbai City FC have impressed us. So here you have these two teams, which is like Atletico de Kolkata have been there and done that, and Mumbai City FC have never impressed. So what do you think? Who will feel more pressure?
I think Mumbai FC has not been the team that was consistently performing during the league phase, whereas ATK was the team that played together like a team, combined very well, coordinated very well, got behind the ball when they were defending, and they moved together up into attack when they were attacking. So Duty, Hume, Bora has been excellent performers in the league phases. Now it is left to be seen how they are going to perform after a few days rest. I think they will be all geared up to see that they can have the first leg edge over.
Who have played the most organized football for you? ATK, Kerala and Delhi, they all have European coaches, while Mumbai City FC have the South American coach. Who have played the best football, consistent?
For me, I think ATK has been very consistent.
Well organized.
Well organized. They gel very well with each other. There was compactness in defense, midfield and attacks. And they always were so spirited because I've seen them scoring equalizers even late in the game. So they have a never dies spirit which will help them in the semis.
So it will be a fascinating final, whoever makes it, but overall it seems like one can feel ATK or Delhi Dynamos could be there in the finals, but it's very difficult to predict. That's my feeling. I feel ATK versus Delhi would be a good final. What do you feel?
Yeah, I mean, like I said before, considering the inconsistencies of performance of the teams in the league, how they are going to mentally prepare themselves for this battle, we'll have to wait and watch. But I'm sure it's going to be a very good contest, both the semi-finals.
Absolutely. Moving forward into the last part of discussion, FC Goa. FC Goa, of course, finished their league phase on a bright note when they overcame Chennai FC, the last year's champions who pipped FC Goa in the final few minutes in that controversial and also exciting finals. So FC Goa defeated Chennai FC in a 5-4 thriller. It was a tremendous football match. We saw some great goals and none greater than Sahil Tawora's last minute screamer. What a wonderful goal that was by Sahil. Amazing.
Yeah, all's well that ends well, Neeraj. For Goa FC and the supporters, the die-hard supporters who turned for the last match, inconsequential match for both the teams. But we saw, I mean, it was a pleasure to see 9 goals in a match.
Yeah,
very seldom
feast.
you have. And some of the goals, like you mentioned, were stamp of class, especially Sahil's winner.
Yeah.
Sahil's winner was exceptional. I mean, I have been always saying, as a striker myself, unless you shoot, you will never get a goal.
Absolutely.
And you keep the ball within the target. If you see that goal that he scored in the last minute of the extra time, I mean, there were 2 defenders in front of him. Maybe I think the goalkeeper might have been a little unsighted by the second defender in front of him. But the question is, how did Sahil decide to take a shot when 2 defenders were right in front of him?
Right.
And it was not in a scoring position, but his exceptional instinct made it one of the good goals that we have seen.
And this is also a kind of goal which every youngster dreams of, scoring from that angle, from the flank, and with that full-blooded strike. He must have dreamt about scoring such a goal, I'm
Yes,
sure.
I think this must have come with a little bit of workouts that he did in his training sessions. He must have taken a number of shots, similar shots, and he is expecting that to happen during the game. Normally, any player who wants to score these dream goals, he practices them during trainings. So I think that culminated from his training experience.
So in this gloomy season for FC Goa, probably Sahil Tawora is the find of the season for FC Goa. A lot of promise from this 21-year-old attacking midfielder.
Yes, young as he is, he yet to get a lot of experience. But the achievements are good for him to go ahead in the I-League or in the ISL next year. But I think he has to realize that what has happened is history now, and he has a big task of proving himself every time he goes on the ground, because there will be huge expectation now from public.
Right.
That should not wear him down. I think he should be confident of himself, he should believe in himself, keep up the training, and just go about playing the same football that he used to play.
Putting the spotlight on a few more Goans in the FC Goa ranks, what do you make up of Romeo Fernandes and Mandar Rao Desai's performance this season as compared to what they had done in the first 2 editions of ISL?
Let's be honest, Neeraj. I mean, we have seen the 3 editions. You have seen the performance of Mandar and Romeo in these 3 editions that we have seen. And I think FC Goa fans and the pundits and the experts have seen the performance of these boys. But for me, I think I have to be honest that they have a lot of work to do. Every time, like I said about Tawora, the expectation from the fans is huge. And they always want you to perform because they believe that you can perform.
Right.
But unless you work a little more harder every time, because as you play, the opponents study you much more. They keep a watch, they watch your videos, they watch you, and they know exactly how to go about tackling you on the field, and also your movements, everything already known to them after watching these videos. So it is left up to the players, especially Mandar and Romeo, the huge potential they have. I think they have to work a little more individually, because individual, like Tawara, individual brilliance can give you glory. And that's what fans are coming to see, Romeo and Mandar scoring goals. Mandar has scored a good goal, Romeo has scored a good goals, but what about the other things that didn't happen for them? I mean, they should work on these aspects where they feel that they have not been able to deliver.
Right.
It's natural for a player to have fluctuation in his performance, in his form. But the more you train, the more you cut down the rate of failures.
So they have to equip themselves more technically and take their game forward.
Yes, the pattern of play, the style of functioning, the player moving on the field should be changed. You should also always have a surprise element in you that can create the glory that you are working hard for.
Probably one reason could be that last year Dampo Sports Club were involved in the second division I League, and that the standard of competition wasn't that great. So Mandar and Romeo could not, give their best throughout that season. That could be one of the reasons.
One of the coaches I was under was Bob Butland, and he used to always tell us that if you play in a higher level of football and then you come to a little lower level of football, maybe if you play against a weaker team, you mentally go down to that level as far as your performance is coming. Good players, good teams raises your bar. But as a professional now, and as I always looked at it, was that irrespective of the nature of the competition or the nature of the team, I have to maintain my own standards. And that is what I have to do, because there are a lot of expectations from the club and the fans. And as a player, to keep me going, building confidence in myself, I think I have to work very hard.
Right. But now as well, there must be question marks they are facing, because what next? Dampo is not going to be involved in the I-League. So where do they train, or where do they play after the end of Pro League? It would be a really difficult time for these two talented players.
Yeah, definitely. I think these clubs, Goan clubs, will also go to play some private tournaments like Durand or IFA Shield or some other competition during this year. Maybe there is some other competitions coming. But I think that's where they have to wait and watch and see where you are going to get an opportunity to perform. But then you always have to prepare yourself.
Come
what may, whether there are competitions or not. Your average performance should be maintained if you are not getting into the peak form. But you should be able to maintain your technical ability, your fitness, etc. I mean, the coaches and the player himself now, they are very well aware how you have to train yourself, how you have to keep yourself in fitness levels, especially when you have coaches like Zico and Matrazi and Kapel, everybody coming. You have a lot to learn from them.
Absolutely.
This is what you really learn, how to maintain yourself, how to maintain your form, and how to maintain your standard. This is what we have to learn from foreign coaches.
But nothing's a substitute to the game time, the match time in the highest competition that one can play in. So hopefully there will be no uncertainty and these young boys can get to play in the I-League again.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. Competition is something that you always need. If you don't have the competitions, you have practice matches to tune you up. But nothing like proper competition and at a very high level. That also helps you to raise your bar.
Right. Thank you, Francis, as always, coming here and explaining to us what the scenario looks like and what the future may also hold. It's been a pleasure to talk to you in our programs, as always.
Thank you for having me.
So that's it. That's all the time we have in this show. Keep watching Prudent. Goodbye.